Hi everybody, I've got a little fabric journal here today that I want to show you, and let's see, it measures about 4¼ by 7. I like that size for some reason. It's got some real pretty lace, and that's part of a curtain back there, more lace up here. This is a napkin that I got at an estate sale. It's got some stitching. It's tied with twine this time. And there's the spine. And there's the back with the other part of that napkin and a little bit more stitching and the lace. I thought I'd try something a little different. But I left it all creams and whites, and I love that. And this puppy is loaded. Loaded. We've got a real pretty pocket with some stitching done in a really faint light green. And this is a old doily that I cut up. And on the inside, we've got a little postcard. Oop, upside down. Postcard. And some envelopes that should have, and it does, coffee dyed paper on the inside for journaling or writing a letter. And you've got 3 of these in the front pocket. And I also added I used to make jewelry. I can't do it anymore because of my hands, but I had a little charm that I had made, and it's got an antique safety pin with the little tiny miniature gold bead. Over here is a double pocket, and it's got some lace and a book page and a safety pin. A little card with some lace, and it's got a brad. And this is a pretty graphic card there. And 2 roses with a key for this pocket, with some twisted sari ribbon and that fuzzy lace, that thready lace I like to use. And that goes back in there. On this side, got a real pretty flower with a heart and a little piece of bling here. That'd be a nice, neato place to journal or put the date. Got a card and another one. Journaling cards. Little vintage lady here. Over here is another pocket, and it's got Latin in the background. I think that's what I'm going to make my next set of cards with. I think I did a bunch in French before, and I think I'm going to use the Latin book next time. This is a vintage card, and, well, this is a tuck spot here and a tuck spot there. Hold on a minute. I'll go get a card. Sorry about that, but I'm going to put these little tickets in here. This is a stamp and a little heart and some fabrics, but look, they're cute. I was so proud of myself when I did that, and then I forgot to stuff it. Oh, well. Over here, we've got a vintage lady in the background and some coffee dyed papers, and I did that with a napkin. We've got a piece of sari ribbon there. I just love that. I just love those little pockets. Over here, got a little pocket here, and it's holding coffee dyed paper, a little card that I've stamped on. And then this is a pocket back behind it also. And it's holding another card and another thing to journal on. So that's kind of a little different, with a big piece of ephemera and some blue ruffles with a little tag and a vintage button. Like I said, there's a lot going on in this book. Sometimes I just can't stop myself. Over here is a piece of that gauze on a brown paper bag, and I made this a journaling spot. On the inside, recipe. Got a journaling card, and of course the snippets and sewn. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, Cajun dressing. Somebody's going to like that. And marvelous rice and cheese casserole. Marvelous. On this side, He-Man potatoes and... Ooh. Let's let that sit there for a little bit. Cajun onion rings. That can't be bad. Oh, it's got cayenne and black pepper. All right. Somebody lucked out. Got a good recipe, and now it's on my video, so I can go back and write it down. Here's a nice place to journal. Little vintage ad here. Over here, I've got a little safety pin, and it's got a day to remember with some cheesecloth and some part of a doily. Here's that grass cloth and some lace and sari ribbon. And here's one of those papers that I like to make. Look, aren't they pretty? They're probably watching the new neighbor moving in, like they do in Pride and Prejudice. It's got a little heart and a pearl. Over here, this had so many pockets in it because I went a little crazy. I wanted more journaling places. So what I did is I made a flip up of different pages with affirmations. I couldn't think of the word. Little affirmations on these pages. And then a pretty graphic behind it with some sewing pattern. And that paper clip holds that down. See if I can do it left-handed. Nope. There we go. So that holds that in place so it doesn't fold up and get crinkly. Over here, you've got a little booklet. This is a new batch that I made. You got a pocket here. And I put a little business card. I love these little Tim Holtz business cards. I think they're so cute. And then a little butterfly tag here, made in the USA, and that's part of a curtain. And then I put this pretty piece of paper in there that's been coffee dyed, and then this is adhered down. Keep this book clean. Do not turn down the leaves. Look at that, May 11, 29. How cool is that? Over here, I've got a little card, which I thought was kind of nice, and lace with a real pretty graphic for the pocket and ephemera behind it. And I did a similar one over here, so that this is the center of the signature. And I put a little heart on the end of the string. And we've got a vintage ad and a coffee dyed paper there to journal on. I like that color with that color. I thought that looked pretty. Over here is an envelope, and I put a piece of lace in front of it for another tuck spot. And behind here, I've got some coffee dyed papers that I did a little bit of stamping on. This is a stamped card. Another card that's been stamped. And then you could journal here too. I journal everywhere. This has got a piece of a curtain behind it. There you go. Over here, I made it a tag page. Just a bunch of tags. This is a little pocket here with a little teapot. And then some music tags. And you've got a plain tag to journal on. Look at that. It's got some tulle. Little piece of a curtain. Tiny little piece of a curtain. And another tag with a parasol. And a pretty vintage lady on the background. So it's just got tags everywhere. Let's put that up a little bit. You know how I am. I got to see everything. And the music. And it's got a little button safety pin. Over here is some real pretty lace. I don't even remember where I got that lace. I think that was the last of it. and a place to journal with some little pieces of fabric and tulle, and a little heart. Over here's a vintage ad. Look, $1.29 for these blouses. Well, this one's 49 cents, and this one's $1.29. Huh. Those were the days. And then over here, I've got, oh boy. Okay, we loaded it down. Well, first, let me show you this side. I stuck a card in it this way, so it would be sticking out and show off, and it's got a little girl. Look at that hat. With her little puppy in the bassinet, or the carriage, baby carriage, and it says, "Shine like the whole universe is yours." Is he not shining or what? That is one happy, proud dog. And it's a little photo mat or journaling spot, whatever you would like to use that for. And here we have a vintage ad for hats for gentlemen. And then on the inside, we've got snippets. I'm telling you, this journal is loaded. Got a card that I made. Another card that I made. It's a coffee-dyed piece of paper with a paint stamping on it. And a little mini booklet in here. I'm telling you, I went a little crazy. Sometimes I can leave it alone, but because I know when I used to teach art, I would tell my students, less is more. The less you do, the more you get. But you know, sometimes you just can't help yourself, and you keep going and keep going. And then the other side of that flip coin is, when you're layering, you have to keep going so you don't fall in love with the layer you just did. So you build and you build and get different looks. This is a pocket here. And it's got a real pretty blue image behind it and another piece of paper behind it. And then I used a white piece of paper that was an old ad. And this has got papers in it to journal on. And it'll hold more, you know. I can still get my little chubby finger in there. Over here, this was a part of a table runner that I made a ruffle out of. Placed a journal here and a ticket that says blessed. And over here is a piece of twine with butterflies made out of book pages. Big sheet. And then we've got some tags here and some images. And a coffee-dyed paper to journal on. And it's got the tag's got the gauze on it that I like to use. Boy, I don't know if I can find that stuff anymore. Over here, you've got two ladies in a car. How neat is that? Look at that car. Love it. And I put in some paper, and you don't need that piece of thread. And coffee-dyed paper with a piece of lace. And this is a little thing that I made. I don't know what I'd exactly call it, but it's out of that thready stuff, and then I tea stained it. And one of my patches that I make. And then over here in this pocket, it's a lace pocket. Well, I'm just a thready girl today. And I safety pinned some fabrics to it, some laces, and used that big old safety pin. I love those things. And this is one of the little booklets that I make. And it's got a pocket here. There's the back. And there's the back to the journal again. And the spine. And the front. And I want to thank y'all for being with me again today. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.